Well, of course, what I was saying is that yeah, in the previous section of the video, I gave you a preamble to what economists, policymakers are saying about Donald Trump as the most effective president who just created global headlines within 30 days of taking the office of president of United States of America, making tangible moves, diplomatic moves that would create sustainable peace between Israel and Palestine. While as well he's very committed to resolve Ukraine-Russian war. And his team, White House, his office, and his diplomats are working day and night to salvage the security situation that is representing Ukraine-Russian conflict. But most importantly here, I would like to discuss about, the previous section, most of the space was given to the Israel-Palestine conflict. So, in the previous section, I was uh, hmm, I was suggesting that on paper it looks quite fine that Europeans have finally accepted that there needs to be two-state solution for Israel-Palestine conflict, and therefore an independent state of Palestine is going to be recognized. And it is one of the best moments for international diplomacy to bring sustainable stability in the Middle East, and especially not only to Palestinians but Israelis as well. But then there is two uh, press appearances. Jeffrey Sachs, he gave a very detailed uh, uh, briefing to American congressmen, and few days ago, American senators made a media briefing. Now, I will analyze both these briefings. Uh, for example, the American senators were saying that, historically, Palestinians live in animosity and they don't like Israelis. It's very natural, so many decades of occupation, repression, and war, and especially now in 2025, where Israeli army has nearly destroyed Gaza. It is very natural not to like, but instead hate Israelis by Palestinian population. So imagine that if we adhere to this solution, just fast track peace strategy and give independent status to Palestine, what is going to happen is that, so much animosity and hate towards Israelis is going to be increasing the possibility of a war and a conflict in Middle East instead of having a peaceful solution. Instead, what the American senators came up with this idea, which is a really good plan and how diplomacy should work. Not Diplomacy should not work in making statements that this policy is good or this policy is bad, but instead analyzing and then making a tangible plan. So they proposed a plan that let us work on Palestinian people, let us give back their dignity, let us give them trust, and let us give them autonomy and independence, while still delaying this acceptance that Israel might be an independent state. Once, with efforts, reconstruction efforts, intellectual exchange, and significant participation by other Arabian countries, one can build a economically thriving, educated, confident, diplomatically evolved, and trustworthy and culturally rich Palestinian society, which would simultaneously be interacting with the Israeli society. If that can happen, then we can tangibly within a year move towards the whole world can then uh, accept that Israel is an independent state and Palestine is an independent state, and there is going to be a two-state solution, and it's not going to lead to war. Instead, Israelis and Palestinians will be living in peace together because they are going to be neighbors. And there's going to be a tangible peace, sustainable peace in Middle East, and especially for Israeli and Palestinians. So this was not mentioned by Professor Sachs, Jeffrey Sachs. He was more or less quite upset while he was telling the congressman that Israel has primarily been using repression. It has been using methods of occupation, methods of uh, which leads to human rights violation of Palestinian civilians, Palestinian population, and